You just set the expectation.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Edward Pereira. Um, I'm here with my good friend and business partner Attila Hevesy as your co-host, and we're here with a genius, Barsano, or as some people call him, Fast Eddie Bar Sinister, because he has created something in the market that seems like it should not be legal, but it just rakes money out of the market, whatever the market will give him and give you. So with that,
Mhm.
I'll share my screen and set some expectations just very quickly. It'll just take me a second for it to come up. All right. Most of you may have seen we have a new slogan and logo along, not necessarily logo, but a new slogan. I always say Nike's got nothing on us. Just press go, just go baby trade. Just press go baby trade, set it and forget it. Most of you that are with us today have the platform and know that it is the 100% truth. There is nothing to do other than watch it make money. And preparing right now, preparing you for, what does Mr. Barsano say? Preparing you for the kill. The market, if you're keeping up with the market news, there's rumblings in the background about the Clarity Act coming finally. And I think that's going to be one of the catalysts that pushes us into a bull cycle. And how wonderful will it be? Because even though we have been making money consistently, better than you can anywhere else on the planet, particularly with no work. But can you imagine all of the inventory or your own personal 7-Eleven that is jam packed with inventory blowing off all at once or consistently? And just remember, when it does, right, it's gonna be a new cycle for us, but it's gonna be something that we've never seen before because it's gonna sell, but it's gonna buy it right back. But it's gonna be going up consistently versus down consistently. I mean, not that down isn't good, but up is good too. So I'm going to approach this screen a little bit differently. You've heard me talk about it multiple times. Our message, and most of you that are here that own the trader know that this is about transition and transformation, transitioning from a not so good place where you've got more month at the end of your money to a place where you are abundant in your cash flow. You have an income producing asset that adds to what you do to give your money a job, employing your money to make more money on your money. So I've been in scenario one. I've been in scenario two. When I hit scenario two, I thought I had finally made it because until I really understood what the Matrix wanted me to do, which was to get in debt and stay in debt forever, go to school, get a job, trade time for money, and be the perfect employee for somebody else. So most of you know all the details about the trading platform. We will go over them in detail. You're here for education and information. We hope that we always are able to provide value to you. A lot of you that are returning friends and associates that are part of the GoBabyTrade and financial intelligence for you and Crypto Casey audience and family know that we look to provide something new for you on a regular basis. So don't hold us. Don't send a note saying you told me to buy this because it was investment advice. We're not giving advice on anything other than the advice that a tool that has been created and refined and perfected and continues to be refined on a 20 almost 26 years is something that we're recommending that you do your own research and consider. So with that, we'll turn it over to Attila. We'll get busy and take it away and go from there.
All right. Thank you, Edward, and welcome everybody. You could be anywhere on this Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. You chose to be here. Good move. If we do have anybody that's brand spanking new, special welcome to you if you've never been here before. And if you've been here before, soak it in because here's your opportunity to, at the end when we get to the Q&A, this is not a customer service call. It's really understand if you truly have, or if you have the need to just have a better understanding of what's happening on maybe one of the screens or something. That's a no-brainer. But as far as if you have an issue, that's why we give out the emails, obviously, so you could contact us and we'll answer your questions there. Um, so my job is to explain how it is that we're all here, because in 2012, I met Ed Barsano. He had a fabulous career in the Navy that led to an amazing job for almost 9 years at Microsoft. He was one of the first hires by Bill Gates as a programmer, 1987. And when I met him in 2012, he had already created the stock market trader, fully automated, fully robotic, and it worked for you 100% of the time unattended. He launched that in 2001 after he got creamed in the stock market crash of 2000, and he was already retired like 5 years by then. He was bored to death, so he said, "You know what? I'm going to level the playing field and develop this trader for the average person." And he did. And when I met him, I had him on the phone. I don't even remember, Ed, if it was the equivalent of whatever a Zoom call was back then, some kind of a webinar, or if it was a phone.
No, it was just talking.
Yeah.
We
So
didn't have Zoom.
yeah, I didn't think so. But we did do Zoom type calls at some point because I know we were showing the trader. I just don't remember what platform it
Were
was.
we? I don't
Yeah, yeah.
remember.
Yeah, no, we did.
I
Anyway,
know
the
I was
bottom
presenting all over the country. Are you sure? Because I was flying out every week.
No, I know. It's 14 years ago, and I can't remember. Neither can you. I feel better now.
Wait, who are you guys?
Yeah, what's your name? So anyway, one thing led to another, and I said, you know what? This sounds amazing. I've always wanted to make money in the stock market. I never wanted to learn how to day trade, so I bought the trader. It did everything Ed Barsano said it would, and I used it for years. And then life got in the way, and I got into the crypto business and full time in 2020, September, almost 6 years ago. And 2 years ago, a little more, March of 24, I ended up reaching out to Ed because I wanted to find a way to safely and securely grow my crypto holdings or stable coins in this de decentralized blockchain crypto space. Let's call it the digital money revolution, as we refer to it as. And when I tracked down Ed, we spoke for about 3 hours and he said, yeah, I did develop the crypto version in April of 21. And he said, Attila, it's light years ahead of the stock trader. And I was curious as to why. So he laid out four pretty compelling reasons. Number one, he said you need a lot of volatility in trading to make good money. And this asset class of crypto is right up there as one of the most volatile out there. And I agreed. I already knew that. Number two, he said cryptos trade 24/7, whereas stocks are only 5 days a week, 6.5 hours a day. And it doesn't trade on holidays. Stocks don't. So I said, yeah, obviously that in and of itself is a big advantage. Number three, he said it's web-based. It's not downloadable software anymore. And I said, explain that because I didn't know what that meant. And he said, look, if you repurchase the license on the crypto trader, I'll have you connected live to your trader in about 10 minutes or less. And I was like, whoa, let's do that. I pulled the trigger on the spot, literally. And what happened was I said, let's connect me. And it took about 8 minutes to connect me, and I was live. And I was blown away because I got to tell you, in 2012, it took a good 90 minutes to download that software. It was cumbersome, to say the least. So I thought that was fabulous. But the fourth thing is what I always say the most important thing because it deals with the safety and the security of your money and my money. And that is this. He connected an API. So the trader connects to your Coinbase or Kraken account so you and only you control your money. That's a big deal. Because in any kind of financial realm, let's call it, the most important factor to you and to all of us is the safety and security of our money. So Mr. Barsano cannot touch our money. Nobody can other than you. And these are two mega large, well-respected public companies. Kraken's not public yet, but it will be soon. Coinbase has been public, what, 3 years, 4 years? So you could feel confident that your money's going to be safe there. So before I hand it over to Ed, I just wanted to say, please keep two things in mind. We're going to say, Edward and I, and Ed will also be saying it a few times. We're going to repeat this over and over. You're going to hear set it and forget it, or 100% unattended. Please take it literally. Other than, I mean, literally, once you're live connected to your own exchange, there's nothing for you to do. You will obviously still want to look at your trader every day in the beginning stages anyway, which is normal. But as far as you having to interact, not necessary. The second thing is please appreciate what Mr. Barsano has brought forth to the world. It's quite remarkable.
Brought
Without,
forth. Brought forth just sounds so biblical, doesn't it?
well,
Brought
I mean,
forth.
this was maybe not a biblical event, but it's a pretty big event for the average person where without anybody being an accredited investor, without anybody knowing a darn thing about trading or a darn thing about crypto, you could now automate a portion of your financial life. That's pretty cool.
Right. It
And you
is.
can make money in your sleep, literally, 24/7. So that's exciting. And hey, Crypto Casey, welcome to the call.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. Hey,
You didn't
before
see
I,
her when she walked in?
Yeah, we did. We
Nobody
did.
missed
She was
her.
quiet. She was quiet.
We all
It is.
wanted to jump right in and start talking
We
to
did.
Casey and cut you out, but we didn't do it,
I
Attila.
bit my
I
We
tongue.
held
appreciate
back.
the respect. I
I
appreciate the respect. That's
bit my
nice.
tongue. But isn't it an absolute bonus when Casey joins us?
What am I,
Absolutely.
chocolate
It's
over
light
Hey,
here?
on.
if well, I mean, well, yeah, sort of. I mean, it's compared to
The
Crypto
sun just
Casey,
came out. I
but
have to dim my light a little bit here.
Hey, Ed,
Oh, I thought you said your son came out. I'm like, we need to see
No.
Steven. I want to see Steven.
yeah,
oh my gosh, could you
He
imagine
is a
getting
geek,
Steven on a
man.
call?
He is a geek.
the
I mean,
He's
he
a
mini-me.
programs
geek.
all night. You should see him all night.
My God.
It's
Well,
crazy.
listen, Ed, I'm going to put you on ice here for a few more minutes because I want Crypto Casey, if she's willing,
Sure.
to tell the story because it's a cool story of how we met and how it is that she fired up the trader behind our backs, kind of in a sneaky but very, very good fashion, and how this all came about with us collaborating together.
Yeah,
Well,
sure. Some people will come to me and they, want to give me free stuff, and then I, you know, check it out. Maybe it's cool, maybe it's not. This was a very different meeting. So one of my friends, we went into a venture that has nothing to do with crypto, nothing to do with blockchain, nothing to do with technology. In fact, we started this venture and I said, one rule, don't talk about my YouTube channel because it has nothing to do with it. And he's like, got you. He was at a networking event and he met Edward. And Edward happened to mention that he was in blockchain education. My friend promptly invalidated or he violated my one rule. He's like,
violated.
"This is
Wow,
my
that's
friend
strong.
Crypto Casey." And then I guess like Edward knew my channel, and then long story short, I have a meeting with Edward and I meet Attila and they tell me about this product we're about to look at today. And I don't really like the sound of it. I don't like set it, forget it. I don't like some of these buzzwords. I mean, in crypto, you see a lot of this stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of things everywhere else too, but since my YouTube channel is crypto, there's just like 99% of everything like that is just a scam. So, anyways, I'm like, all right, cool. Thanks. Nice to meet you. And then, yeah, I went and just bought it and I tried it out for myself. I didn't tell them. Like, tried it out for 3 or 4 months. And it was very interesting. I had a lot of questions. So then I reached back out to him. I'm like, hey, this is interesting. Can I talk to the guy who created it? I have some questions. And that was what, 2 years ago now?
To your surprise, we said yes. We'll get him. We'll get him right on.
Yeah, and that was 2 years ago. I think it was 9 months that I had it. I tried it, and I didn't make a video until then. And
You made a
August,
video.
coming up August is 2 years ago since I
Yep.
started talking
Yeah.
about it. And everybody who's gotten it has a really good time with it, and that's why I keep talking about it. Because otherwise, I wouldn't. I simply wouldn't. So
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Why would you talk about something that's not working for you personally?
yeah, no.
I mean, it's
Or
just,
if I had a different experience and most other people didn't, then I would stop talking about it. But
Yeah.
everybody,
Well, it's been great feedback, and you also look at that now that it's going on 2 years, pretty much say 2 years
during a bear market, no less.
during a nothing but bear market,
This is
and
the only thing making money, actually, like from my perspective.
Yeah. And the consistency of it. You know, if it worked for a month or 2 months or 6 months, that would be one thing. And then it trends down or doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It's literally in whatever market conditions. And as we just talked about, the worst market conditions that you could possibly want to invest in crypto, it has outperformed everything else.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you, Casey, for sharing. Great story. And yeah, August 25th is the day that you actually launched that very first video. And we get constant feedback. We just had somebody give you props. Jenny said you're the reason that she came on board.
Right?
So, yep.
Probably owning the trader. And let me
Yep.
just make a correction, Casey, so that you don't murder our mutual friend for blowing your one rule. I got to tell you, the only little minor correction, he didn't tell me about your YouTube channel. He just said, "Oh, you should meet my friend Casey. She's really big in the crypto marketplace."
That's still a violation of the rule, Edward.
Okay, well, I'm trying
I would agree.
trying to get him off the hook, but nevertheless, I'm like, Casey, the only one I know that's in this space has a YouTube channel, and she's Crypto Casey. He goes, "Oh yeah, that's her." I'm like, "What? No way!"
You just violated it, like
so twice.
He said, "What? No way." You said, "What? No way." I've been following her for years, so he did say it. That's man code. He's trying to cover for this guy.
Yeah, well,
He did mention your channel. He absolutely mentioned your channel.
Well, I mentioned your channel. Nevertheless,
at the end of the day, it turned out to be fine.
Well, yes,
Cool.
yes. So,
more than fine. It turned out to be spectacular.
And you're still friends, and you have
we're still friends. We're still
friends. Right. We've all gotten to the point where we make a fantastic foursome that, as I said at the beginning, hopefully continues to provide value to the marketplace, because there is so much BS and so much fluff and so many things that people say that aren't true and don't work, or just prognosticating about where something is going to go in 3 days and why. Where this is, what do I say, Attila? This is actionable intelligence that brings value to the audience, period. So
AI, actionable intelligence. I love it. We won't forget that now.
Oh, that's interesting. I never tied that together.
Some without uniforms.
Okay, Ed Barsano, guess what? This is a world record. We are handing the baton off to you.
You're kiddting me.
At 20 minutes after the hour.
20 minutes. I know. I was like, it's gonna be 2:45.
But hold on. You only have 7 minutes to go.
7 minutes. I miss your the three things in life. You start out working hard, then you do a lot of stuff that looks like a lot of fun, and then you retire and start drinking a lot. I love those. I miss that. I miss that screen that you used to put up.
He showed it.
Oh, no, we showed
got a divorce.
Was he also late? Ed, were you also late?
He was.
Okay,
I think I was 1 minute late. No, wait a minute. You said I came right exactly on time, exactly at 2.
No,
listen, my
7
father,
minutes before it starts.
My father, being in the military, said if you're not 15 minutes early, you're 5 minutes late.
Speaking in military, I was in the store the other day, and I saw an army guy in his fatigues. So immediately I went up and I said, "Hey man, thank you for your service." And then I said, "Go Navy." And then he started talking. He said, "Yeah, I've been in 7 years, and I wish I would have started earlier, And I said, "I know, man. I was in there 8 years, changed my whole life." Then another guy jumps in from it, and he said, "Yeah, I was in the Marines, greatest time of my life, And I'm like, I mean, this is veterans, You get veterans together, man. It's a party.
Well, I have one
my
question.
My wife was giving me the eye like, "Are we here to shop or what?"
I have one question. Did you ask how their crypto was?
No, I didn't even mention crypto. I should have. I didn't. When I mention crypto, when I pull out my American Express, Coinbase American Express card, and somebody said to me just yesterday, he said, "Is that metal?" I said, "Yeah, it is. It's cool." I said, "You know what I really like about this card? Everything I do, I pay with crypto." So what does that tell you? The whole world's going crypto, I told them. Watch when all the credit cards are paying, you can pay
Hmm.
with crypto.
Moving
Yep.
that way.
That's
Yep.
where we're headed.
Take it away,
All right.
Ed.
Take it away. All right. So the first thing I want to address before I even bring up a screen is the ele I don't always call it this, but I'm calling it now. The elephant in the room. What's everybody thinking? Why GoBabyTrade? What differs? I hear it a lot. Why is GoBabyTrade different than all those 100 other bots that are out there? Well, for starters, those 100 other bots just came out a couple of years ago. And if they do have AI in it, their AI doesn't know what it doesn't know because it only came out a couple of years ago. My AI and my bot, if you want to call it a bot, 3 million lines of code, you want to call a bot, I guess. When I think of a bot, I think of like a little widget or something or some slop program I slapped out in an afternoon, you know, before I went to the beach. Hey, I'm going to write this program before I go to the beach. Okay, I'm done. There's their bots, if you will. My bot's been running since 2001. And it's already seen up and down and sideways markets. It's seen the worst of markets and the best of markets. And it works through all of it. 100% attended. So if you ask, what's the difference? You can answer that yourself with a simple question. What do you have to do to turn on that bot and make it make money? Well, with GoBabyTrade, all you do is as soon as you sign up, it brings up one screen and it says, enter your symbols here that you want to trade. You enter them. But we have all kinds of things where we can help you pick the best coins. As a matter of fact, there's a button on the screen that says, here's 4 very volatile coins. Click it. And there's your starting coins, 4 coins it'll bring up. Or you can type in your own. And and then it starts trading. You're done. You are done. Walk out of the house. Now go to the beach. You're done. Now your auto trader will run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, forever. But that's paper trading. When you want to go live now, connected to the Coinbase or Kraken, the exchanges, you just connect to that. We have videos. Attila did a wonderful video on how to connect to the exchanges. We have instructions on how to do it. Plus, we all have email addresses. Send us email. Send email to support@gobabytrade.com. My support team loves calling you. You know, Julie, she helped somebody the other day. She texted me and she said Will was his name. Will's all set up live now. We're now BFFs. Best friends. I mean, that's how she is. We call her no, director of emotional support. It's funny. Anyways, we all have a good time. However, you have an opportunity. What did I write here? I wrote a little note. All right. The thing is, if you're going crypto now, you have an opportunity to go in at record low prices, the absolute lowest prices in history. I call them insultingly low prices. But the question is, you have to ask yourself something else here before you even worry about that. Do you believe in crypto? Because if you don't believe in crypto, then every time I mention the word crypto or any of us mention crypto, in your head, think stock. Because the auto trader also trades the stock market. And it's been running for the stock market since 2001. When I met Attila in 2012, he was in the stock market. And I only added cryptos in 2021. So if you don't believe for those of you who don't believe in crypto, which I'd be surprised if there's anyone on here. Anybody, actually, there's a chat right there. If you don't believe in crypto, how about saying I don't believe in crypto? Type it there. Because I just like to know if I'm dealing with an audience that doesn't believe in crypto. Because we can talk stocks if you want. It's the same thing. I love stocks. Stocks are at record highs. We started trading stocks the same as cryptos at the bottom. In 2001, the stock market was at the absolute bottom. I got hammered in that 2000 crash. All the coins went down. I think Microsoft went down to $30 a share, So all of us got hammered in the 2000 crash. Prices were at record lows, and now they're at record highs. And we're at the same thing in the crypto market now. Cryptos are at record lows, and we're getting ready to head to record highs, right? It's going to go that way. The trend does not stay down forever. If it stays down forever, then there is no crypto market. Then it just doesn't exist. And if you don't like buying cryptos at these record low prices, then you have to ask yourself, why not? What's wrong with record low prices? If you walk into a store and you see, and I'm going there to buy some olive oil, and I see a sign there that says buy one, get a second one half off, 50% off. Well, I don't want to buy that because it's on sale. Are you going to walk into a store and say, I don't want anything that's on sale here because I don't believe in sales? Because that's what the crypto market is. This is they're at insultingly low prices. They've lowered them to as low as they possibly can go without these coins going out of business. So you have to ask yourself, is there going to be a crypto market or isn't there? I can tell you there is. I can already tell you all the credit cards you're going to be able to pay with crypto. So, and that's where we're at. So if you ask yourself, what's the difference between us and other bots? Now I described GoBabyTrade, but let's talk about those other bots for a second. They're going to give you a bunch of drop-down menus and all the indicators and all this stuff that you can do. And 100 different things you can do. It's like, so you know why they're doing that? Because they don't know how to make money in the market. With GoBabyTrade, we can tell you just turn it on and watch it make money. With these other bots, you have to figure it out. Good luck. And then, strategies are not just, I see some chart pointing up, therefore jump in. That's one little thing. What about money management and risk management? What if the coin goes the wrong way? And how am I going to handle that? And how much money do I put into each trade? So that I can keep trading in perpetuity no matter where the price goes, whether it goes all the way up or all the way down. Or how about if it goes all the way up and it comes halfway down? What happens to your account? Because you could go all in up there and then lose all of it while it's going the wrong way because you don't know how to take profits along the way. There's a lot more to strategies than just, you look at a chart and it looks like it's pointing up. So they're going to give you all these charts or all these indicators and drop-down menus and things you can do. I used to do that when I first released the autotrader in 2001. I called it 10 screens of ways to trade, of things you can do. People were so impressed. Look at all those things you can do. And now, you know what I call those 10 screens? 10 screens of ways to blow yourself up. And believe me, I watch people blowing themselves up all over the place. So I got rid of all that. And that's why I went to one screen of settings in the trader. Minor things like you want to set your profit goal. A few simple things that aren't going to hurt you no matter what you do. Because the bulk of the intelligence is built into the software. That's why the software can run 100% all by itself. 100% unattended. So they're going to give you all these screens because they don't know how to make money in the market. That's the bottom line. And so they get a lot of credit because they show you a lot of the things you can do a lot of things, but really it's the wrong things. They're not really an integrated system that knows how to do everything all together. So I can give you examples all day long of that stuff. But let me show you, let's look at the autotrader. But that's the difference between GoBabyTrade and these other systems. And I'll even show you how the autotrader trades. Let me share my screen. First thing I'll show you is how the autotrader trades. And that is the bucket and the well. Some of you have already seen this a dozen times, and it's okay. Some people haven't seen it, so they don't know. But I've heard people say, once you get this, it changes. It really helps you understand. Buy and holders on the left without GoBabyTrade. GoBabyTrade's on the right. If you put all your money in up here, that means just go in. And then the price goes lower and it starts wiggling down there. You're not making any money. And the lower it goes, the further away you get, the deeper your account's getting in the hole because you went in up here, but it's going down and it's wiggling down here, but you're not making any money because you don't have any money to trade because you put it all in up there. Kind of like when Bitcoin went to 60,000 and then came down to 24,000. And millions of people, that's like it went, they put it in at 60,000, it went down to 24,000. And then they saw it go to 30,000. They were already down 50%. Half their money was already down. And then they go even further. It went down further. And then they just said the heck with it. And they started selling off at a loss. As opposed to GoBabyTrade, when it went to 60,000 and it started going down, it was wiggling while it was going down. So we just kept pumping money forever, no matter where it goes. So it went all the way down to 24,000 and we were wiggling, but we were leaving all this inventory behind as it was going lower, right? Because it was trading down here, buying and selling. But then it went all the way back up to 60,000, which means all this inventory that we bought on the way down, we sold off. Plus, while it was going up, we were buying and selling more on the way up. So we were actually double dipping on the way up because you're selling the inventory that you owned, that you bought while it was going down, plus while it's going up, you're still buying and selling more on the wiggles. So you're double dipping. The auto trader is conservative on the way down and aggressive on the way up. And then what do you think it did next? It broke through the 60,000 and went all the way up to 120,000. And then everybody jumped back in at 120,000, and then it came all the way back down to 60,000. And then they're in the same boat they were in over here again, these buy and holders. They're dead again. As opposed to us, we're buying and selling, and now we have all that beautiful inventory we bought at higher prices. But while it was going down, we're still wiggling, and we are still wiggling now. And if you everything you're buying and selling, let me tell you, that buying and selling really is a lot. I don't know if people realize the magnitude of it. That's why I added something here. Here's the auto trader. Oh, what's this? All right, it took $43 of profit today. Oh, nice. I'll take that. Thank you. I mean, I'll take, you want to give me free money. It pops that up when it has a trade. Oh, so it did that at 2:03 p.m. after we started the webinar. It just took $43 of free money. Thanks. This account started with 200,000. It's up to 900. It's taken $990,000 of free money off the table from these wiggles, just from the wiggles. And you notice on the bottom, Edward, you mentioned the gray.
Yes.
It shows
yeah, that's the new feature.
Anything that's gray means it's already closed. So you can see right here, this Dogecoin. This is interesting. On 7/8, it opened it. There's the open on this line. And you see the shares, it matches right above it. On 7/11, it sold those same shares. It sold that order. What it bought there, it sold it and took $133 of profit. Then 2 days later on 7/13, it opened it again. Just happens to be Doge seems to be the one moving here. I don't know why. And where did it close at 7/11? Let me see. Am I at the top? Oh, yeah, the shares. Here's the shares, 38552. You can see it here. And then a day later on 7/14, it sold it again. It sold those shares for $130 profit. And then it went, and then on 3 days later, this is crazy, it rebought it again at 7162. You see the prices? Look, it sold. It bought at 70.071, sold at 0.075, bought at 071 again, sold at 075 again, then again bought at 071 again, and now sold at 073. What a joke. The market is so easy. I call it an insult to humanity. But if you scroll down, you can see all the gray shows all the positions that are already closed. All those opens that are showing here, they're already closed because they're gray. The ones that are still open are white here. You can see these haven't been closed yet. All right, those opens. But if you scroll through, Look at all that gray. Look at all that gray. All those open positions that you were buying, bought and sold, already long gone. Bought and sold, all long gone, closed already. And then every once in a while you get one lot up there that's still sticking around. That's okay. But you're taking so much profit off the table, they can never they just can never catch up. The negative inventory, the profits you take just overrun the inventory, the open positions that you still have that are underwater. Kind of like this coin here. What is this? Alchemy Pay. All right, I love Alchemy Pay. My open inventory is down 184,000. You think, wow, he's down. Yeah, in open positions. But I've already taken $340,000 of actual free money, of closed trades, profits that are, you can't take that back from me. Even if the company went out of business now, they can't take this 340,000 away from me because I already closed that. That's my money. And all this was all net positive a few months ago. And then the market just started tanking. And you know when it really started tanking? Is when this talk about the Clarity Act's getting ready to be signed. It's getting close to being signed. And you know what that means? And I've seen it for 26 years now, since I've been automating the market. Every time before a coin or a stock starts to go higher, starts to rocket to a new high, you see a big pullback in the price. And the purpose of that pullback is to drive the little guy out, to scare the little guy. It's twofold. Number one, it drives the little guy out because he's panicking, thinking he's going to lose all his money. And even though he's down 50%, he'll sell it all at a loss. But the second thing is who's on the other end of that sell? Who's doing the buying while that guy's selling at those low prices? The big guys, the multi-billion-dollar companies,
Hey,
and
Ed.
BlackRock and Vanguard and those guys, and us. We're buying at the bottom. Yes, Attila?
Yeah, isn't this a great time to show why people should not be concerned with the account value? Because if I'm not mistaken, that at one point was like $1 million or something,
It was
right?
at a mil
But with the
three.
market,
It was
a
at
mil
this
three,
this account reached. It started with 200,000. It went all the way up
right?
to a mil three, and then pulled back to now it just went under 500,000, which is a record low, man. I mean, and I don't even look at the account value. I tell
Right.
people don't look at your account value because that's just negative. Open positions can only go up. Your value of your open positions goes up and down. If the positions are open, it's going up and down based on the coin price going up and down. And when the coin price goes down, your account value goes down. But the
Right.
positions that are closed, the profits keep going higher and higher. They never go down. They just keep going higher and
Yep.
higher and higher
Yeah, Ed,
forever.
can I also interject something as
Sure.
well that we don't completely tell the story is that of that $990,000, the snapshot that everybody's looking at now, don't look at the 454,000 in account value as whoa, it's come down that far because
You know
haven't you?
why?
And I don't want to disclose too much personal information, but didn't you take $200,000 out of here to buy a Range
A
Rover
Range
for
Rover.
cash, right?
Yeah, I
And
brought a
and I'm
Range Rover with my,
and you have a Coinbase card that everywhere you go you stick it in and you say, hey, it's the card that keeps on giving. Is there
yeah.
and if it's not too personal, could you put a thumb on approximately how much money that you've used out of this account for everyday expenses and a new
I'd
car and
probably say 500, about 500,000. I blow over 100,000 a year for sure.
blow? Well, I mean, it's some you're blowing money that somebody else gave you that your machine wrecked
I
out of the
call it free
market.
money. I wasn't even, I mean, it's just free money. If you look at the times on these trades, like this one here at 5:36 in the morning here on that whatever day that is, I wasn't up at that hour unless I stayed up late programming and I was still up. But I know I didn't wake up before 5:36 if I
Yeah.
went to bed. And
Hmm.
there's 6:01 a.m. There's another one, free money. All this stuff is going on while I'm not even paying attention, man. I'm not looking at doing anything. None of these are manual trades. These are all profit goal reach, live, real trades. The auto trader saw the profit and took it. And some of these trades are what did I see there? 1:02 a.m. 1:02 in the morning. It bought the share here, bought
Yep.
that one, and then what did it do? The very next day at 9:01, one day later, it sold it because you can tell it was the same one because the shares match. 143.04413.
Actually, Casey, I'm going to call on you for a minute.
And took another $350 of free money.
So a lot of your videos are inject the idea that whenever the government gets in trouble, they fire up the money machine.
Yes.
Right. So
depending on what kind of trouble they can.
Right. Well, trouble is trouble. Trouble is trouble. But your punchline, which always sticks with me, is they fire up print made up money out of thin air. Right. That has no value behind it, and it just hit me comparing that to the trader. Is the trader prints money, but not out of thin air.
No, it prints it out of volatility and actual stuff we can look at right now. I see he's pulling up one of the graphs. I mean, every time something goes up and down, this thing is just autonomously buying as it declines, selling as it increases. And it's really simple. It's so simple that it took me a long time to convert.
I know. That's why I call it an insult to humanity.
Yeah, man, I want a refund on my finance
thing you could ever do in your life.
Yeah.
Say again, Casey.
I want a refund on my finance degree because all of that was a lie. I mean,
well, we do actually over the past month or so. We have been talking about what the trader does is beginning to defy even your logic of looking at stats and market cap, and what was the one we were picking on? It was PRCL, and I think another one was L3
and layer 3. Yeah,
right.
But here's another thing. Whenever Ed tells the story of going to the prop houses. And then I didn't realize there was a layer 2, level 2 screen with that. So, I mean, they didn't teach us that whenever I was getting my finance degree. It's all like the Wizard of Oz behind the door, and like they teach you about this part, but not what's actually happening. What's actually happening is blatant manipulation, and it's terrible. But here we are.
Yeah,
it's terrible if you don't own the trader.
Yeah, because you can write on the coattails of what they're doing with the trader, because otherwise, you're not really privy to that information. You don't stand a chance without it. I mean, it goes on.
Why would they tell you? As a matter of fact, you've talked on a couple of videos about the layer 2 screens, right? Now
and I didn't know until Ed told us about it.
Right now that you're educated about it, well, that's pulling the curtain back on one of the biggest fallacies. And lies in the entire trading markethought. It doesn't matter whether it's stocks
and what they're teaching you. It pulled the curtain back on what they're teaching people they're teaching. They're teaching people how to trade wrong.
Yeah,
and they're teaching people how to lose money. I mean, I've sat in day trading houses. That's what Crypto Casey mentioned, the prop house. I was going to more than one prop house, professional trading house where the bunch of traders are trading, and in the first place I went, I bought some Microsoft while I was just sitting there because I needed high-speed internet. That's why I went there. But then when I went there, I learned stuff while I was there that I didn't know I was going to learn when I went there. It was just God's will, if you will. I went there. I mean, look, these are fake orders. That $1.10 right there on the bottom, that's the best ask price is 15 point, or right here. There's the best ask price right there. But these are fake orders, and if I'm buying $100 worth of this coin, $1.10 order is not going to get me there. So I'm not going to get the best price, which is there. I'm actually going to have to go up to this one, where this sell is, and I'm going to pay that much for it. 727, not 7268. So you can already see how it's manipulated there. That's one manipulation. But while I was in that day trading house, that prop house, I said, hey, I bought some I just said out loud because I'm very vocal. I said, hey, I just bought from some Microsoft. How do I know when to sell it? And somebody walked up to my right shoulder and he pointed at this screen, the level 2 screen. This is what they all lived and died by in there. Everybody in that place was trading, looking at one thing. They weren't looking at charts and graphs. They were looking at your orders. And I couldn't believe it. He said, "You see that guy's order right there? Sell it right under him. Sell it at a lower price and you'll get filled at the lower price because anybody that's buying is going to buy it at the lowest price. They're not going to buy it at a higher price if they could buy it at a lower price." So they were all undercutting all the traders out there. And the public is just literally trained. It's like a mouse is trained to go to that cheese on that mousetrap. And and you just put out the mousetraps and the mice will come. And they keep coming. You can catch mice with a mousetrap and put it out again the next day and catch more. It's like they never learn, and that's how what's going on in the market. People want to believe that the market is somehow has nothing to do with manipulation or other traders doing things that are taking advantage of you. They don't want to believe that there's like nobody would be like immoral, if you will. I don't know if you want to call it that. I asked a guy one time a simple question. This is many years ago before I even automated the market, back in the 90s, when I kind of observed behavior by the market makers, the large institutions. I noticed they were doing stuff. The prices were I felt like the news was being like they had insider info that we didn't have. And it was on the internet, and somebody said there's no way they could have insider info that would be illegal. And I said, well, I think of it this way. I said, if you work for Time Magazine and it's a Friday, and you know that on Sunday, the next Time magazine's going to come out, and there's going to be a big cover on the front page that says Intel's going down, semiconductors are going down, Intel's, worst company you could own. Anything. It was real though, by the way. But they didn't say it as icky as the way I say it, right? But I said, when that article comes out, that Intel stock's going to crash. You know it. But you're on the inside because nobody else knows what's going to be on that cover on Sunday until it gets released, right? You're one of the few people on the inside that actually knows what the cover is going to say. But your mother owns a whole lot of Intel stock. Are you going to let her know that come Monday you're about ready to get hammered? Or are you, and so she has a chance to sell it? Or are you just going to be quiet? He says, well, it would be immoral for me to, it'd be illegal for me to tell you, my mother, get out of here. Well, then you're one of very few in the world. People take advantage of that stuff. There's a ton of insider info. There's just a ton. Every company has insider info. At Microsoft, I knew a whole month before the end of the quarter that we already blew away the street, man. We already made the quarterly earnings, so I already know that that next earnings report is gonna be killer. I knew that all the way back in '89, and I didn't take advantage of it. I could have. I could have gone out and bought a buttload of options, but they were already giving me millions of dollars worth of options anyways, so I didn't really need to do that. But I mean, I could have. Were other people taking advantage of it? I wouldn't doubt it. There was a ton. I wasn't the only one that knew about it. I could see the reports. Same as some of the other people in the company. So I'm just saying that that the world is going to take advantage of all the people who don't know stuff. And this level 2 screen, you floating your order, a limit order in public view, is going to get you killed. You're going to miss so many trades because of it. Because you're always putting an order out there that says, if the price goes to here, I want to sell it. That's your limit order, to say I want to take my profits. If you put that in public view, thousands of professional traders, plus, I hate to say, nowadays, the institutional computers are looking at it. And they're going to buy and sell right under you. And they're going to dry up all the buyers. It won't even go to your price. You'd be lucky if some people. I tried to explain this to one guy, and he said, "There's no way they care about my one order. They care about your one order." It's like, man, you are delusional if you don't think they care about your one order. They care because you're giving them the opportunity to buy and sell under you. Your one order represents maybe 20 buys and sells for them under you. It's crazy, man. In any case, the advantage, I discovered all this stuff over the years from 2001 to today. I learned stuff that's how the public is being manipulated, and I counter it in the software. The software adds up this volume, and it says, what am I really going to pay for that coin if I try to sell it? Or what am I really going to get for that coin if I'm selling it? What am I really going to get for the coin if I'm buying more? The software knows what the true price is going to be. Sometimes I'll get email from someone and they'll say, "How come my auto trader's not selling right now? Because I see the current ask price right here. I see it's already at my price." I said, "Yeah, but you're not going to get filled at that price. You're not, you're just, it's not gonna, you're really not gonna, you're not gonna get it because you're trying to buy 1,000, you're trying to sell 1,000 shares, and you got to go through all these little fake orders, and you're gonna pay a lot more than what you thought you were gonna pay." Stuff like that, that's built in. What other traders do that? What other bots do that out there? They don't do it because they don't know how to make money in the first place. They can't give you an automated trader because if they did, they would give you an automated trader that would automatically lose. You
Hmm.
have to know how to make money in the market to create a true auto trader that runs 100% unattended. And nobody else can do that. Because people send me emails all the time, "Hey, will you look at this other bot?" It's like, why? As soon as I see they got 20, all these drop down menus and indicators and everything, I'm like, that's like having a toaster with 100 indicators on it. I burn my toast with one knob, let alone 100 knobs. I, you know, I don't get it. In any case,
Hey
let's
Ed, let
talk
me
about what the auto. Can we jump into what the
let me
auto trader is here? Just show people what they're looking at. Is that good? Cool.
I agree.
Sometimes I go on a rant, folks. Sorry. But
remind
that's the
everybody.
most important
I just
thing. I mean,
want
forget about the software. Understand what the software is doing. That's what's important. If you understand what the software is doing, then you realize you got a money machine for life. Why wouldn't you want a money machine for life? I don't know about you. I want everybody to take 1 minute and think about, or 10 seconds and think about, when's the last time you found money on the ground? This auto trader just finds money almost every day. It's taking whatever the market is willing to give it. It's not bossing the market around. It's letting the prices go where they go. And the auto trader's taking advantage of it, with how they're moving the prices around. And you can see what they're doing. Look at all this wiggling, man. What a joke. I mean, this is beautiful, man. It goes down. When it goes up like this, anything you own from that point, anything over here that's below that price, sold off. So even though you probably already sold it off anyways, but if there was anything left over down there, you sold it off. And it's just this constant free money. And look at the stock prices move like this, gradual. Cryptos jump around, man. That's just when a coin jumps up like that. And the auto trader says, "Gotcha." Every piece of inventory that it bought, anything, any position that it bought at a lower price, it sells off and takes that profit, sweeps that profit off the table. This is just a constant flow of free money. People ask me when it's way down here, should I stop my auto trader from buying more because I have so much inventory? I'm like, no, because then you're stopping all this free money. I don't know what, just let it trade forever, man. It's a money machine for life. It doesn't even care where the prices go.
Hey Ed,
Yes.
Ed, I just want to remind everybody, we're going to get into the Q&A soon. So if you have questions, please post it into the Q&A, not the chat. There's a round circle with three dots. It says more, M-O-R-E, and inside of that, at least on my menu, is the Q&A. Actually, I stand corrected. They made it a separate category again. It's literally
What?
to the left of that, M-O-R-E. Wow, that's weird.
Oh, so
That was not there
it's
last
different
week.
for different people.
It
It's
keeps
Yeah.
it's based
changing.
on, I think, the
All right.
size of the screen.
Huh.
All right. So this is your trader. This is what you're looking at in your trader, right? But your actual auto trader is running on my servers, so it's not downloadable software onto your computer. So you could be
Right.
running Linux, MacBook Pros, or whatever. Anything you can do to get to an internet, you can use your cell phone. If you can get to the internet, then you can see this page. So that's your auto trader. But that's just really a website showing you everything your auto trader is doing. So you look at it and go, oh, that's my auto trader. But your actual physical auto trader is running on my servers. I've got racks of servers in what they call it a co-location center, or you might know it as data center, where all the servers are. So it's running on my servers. That way you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about software updates, Windows updates messing with your software. You know, you don't have to worry about turning your computer on in the morning. You don't have to worry about what if the internet goes down or any of that stuff. You know, it's always running on my servers. If it stocks, it runs from 9:30 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. On my servers, and it starts in the morning and shuts itself off in the afternoon. If it's cryptos, they run 24/7. They never stop. They just run and run and run and run and run like the ever ready bunny rabbit, just stalking that market, waiting for a move. And when it does, when the prices move, we take advantage of it. So here's your account. You have videos on every page. The view videos you'll see on other pages. There are videos on there if you want to hear me yap more. Um, Today's profits, it only took one trade. I don't care. I'll take $43. If I walked outside and I found $43 on the ground, first thing I would do is look around and see who dropped it. Hopefully I don't see anybody. Then it's mine. So there, you always do that when you find money on the ground. You look around to see if somebody dropped it, so you can give it back to them. Anyways, 30-day profits, only $943. Obviously, I can't live on that. I eat more than that. Very slow month. It's a very slow month. Stop and think about that. That's the market that is slow. We're just getting a very slow moving market. Usually this is easily 3,000 or more, or 10,000. I've had $30,000 months, when the market's really moving. And the market is at a crawl now. I literally answer emails every single day. And I remember one I answered at like 9:30 last night, and I had to answer her. The market is just at a crawl. It's not moving. It's moving like a snail. And the auto trader's just taking every penny it can take out of that market. But the prices have to move. And they're not moving it because we're getting close to that clarity bill being signed. And they're holding these prices down as hard as they can.
Ed,
And
I have a
again, I
question.
call it all manipulation.
I have a question. When you're
Sure.
finished giving people the overview, do you mind if I share my screen and show you a more recent trader from my experience, so people have a comparison as well? And we'll show you
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Will
you
show
don't
you.
need $1 million to use this auto trader. You're not going to show them $1 million account, are you?
No, 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 no. I'm going to show them a $200,000 account, but what it's
Okay.
made in 1 day shy of a month.
Okay. Just take a couple minutes. I'm going to just
No, no,
bang through this real fast.
finish your overview.
Okay. So this is total profits taken. That's what's important. That's why I say quit looking at the account value. I don't even care what it is. You know why I don't care that this account was up to a mil three and came back down to 455 up here? The reason I don't care is I've got all that beautiful inventory that I bought on the way up, on the way down that I'm sitting on, right? And what's nice is they can't let the price go back up there again. They can never cross these. And it's not like go up there like it's far away. It's no more than ever like 5% away from my last buy at the bottom lot. This bottom one here. This bottom one. That's where I am. And I own all these, right? It's okay because they have to go through this one. That's a 5% profit. And then if they try to go higher, they're going to have to pay me for this one, another 5% profit. And if they try to go down again, I'll rebuy these again on the way down. So I'm never more than 5% away from taking money out of the market. And then when you get a big jump, a 20% jump, 5, 10, 15, 20, boom, they all disappear instantly in the middle of the night. You get a 40% jump. Boom, all these shares disappear. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You know, it's got all these just automatically sell off. So don't even worry about how much inventory you're sitting on because it was all bought in a way to trap the market.
You know,
The
it's funny.
software's job,
I've been trying to figure out a way we can like help people visualize this on their own dashboard because just seeing that, you have to explain it, and then explaining it still
yeah,
people think like it's
ad
like, oh, my
nauseum.
account was $100, now it looks like it's $30, but that's not what that is. How can we represent like this is inventory that needs to be sold off that was bought at a cheaper price that will be sold at a premium?
I
What you
know.
think about it?
Well, you're the video girl, man. You go for
I know. I've been trying to think
it.
about it, how to put it on the dashboard, but it is kind of hard because, yeah.
I'm an
Well,
internals programmer, man. You're lucky you're getting screens at all.
I'll figure it out. But no, that is
I know.
really a thing that's like the hardest thing to explain to people.
It's, you know, this a lot of stuff I could show you inside this code that's really super hard to explain, you know, but if you saw how this stuff is written, it's like, don't even try to create one of these. Everybody that's tried to create an auto trader that tried to compete with me over the years is long gone. They already lost all their money because they don't know, they don't realize that I make it look a lot easier than it is. Um, so, so the important thing is keep taking profits. That's the secret. And then you have your profits saved, you know. If I go to manage profits here, if I click on that, I can go down here and right now I have it set to save 50% of my profits as it comes in. That means don't use those profits. It tells the auto trader save 50% and let the other 50% go back into the pool where the auto trader can use it. So it increases the amount of money the auto trader has to work with. And if you can see how I release money. I release money like I was releasing money in like here. I released it had 201,000 and I released 100,000 of it, which left 101,000. And then, you know, it looks like here I put it back. Interesting. Some of these I'm putting back. Oh, I'm putting some back. Yeah, it's weird. But I'm releasing 100,000 at a time. And like here I released 30,000 and I released 10,000 and I released 100,000. You're releasing the profits because the profit bucket's filling up and no use letting all that money just sit on the sidelines. So I release it to the auto trader to let it use it. Plus I release it sometimes because I'm using my American Express card. And that's money I'm spending. So I'm releasing the money. Um, Last time I released money was on March 23rd. I released $689 and brought the profit saved to zero. So but go back to the main trader. Then on top you have the symbols, and if you click on plus, you can actually it expands the window. That plus in this corner, it expands and it tells you when it's going to buy more. It tells you if the price goes down to 4096. See what the price is right now, current S price up here? It's 43. If it goes to 4096, it's going to add to a decliner. It's telling me if the price goes down, it's going to buy more, and it knows ahead of time where it's going to buy. And if it goes up, it knows ahead of time where it's going to buy more. If it'll add to winners and losers, and it'll fill gaps between these two. Plus, it actually tells you ahead of time where the price has to go if the target profit is 4946. So if the price has to go up to 4946 for it to sell to take profits. So it knows ahead of time. It's not a black box. It's telling you ahead of time what it's going to do. So you can see all that, and I already talked about these open positions and closed positions and the net P&L. And like I said, in the last couple months, all this was net P&L positive all the way. They tanked the market big time in the last couple months, but it gave us a chance to buy at insultingly low prices, which is a great thing. I mean, what right? I have no ability to make prices go down. It's wonderful if you could do that. You know, but they do it for us. They move the prices. But here you can see the constant flow of money, buying and selling, buying and selling. It never ends. It's just money, 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 and nobody can stop it. We're not violating any laws. Nobody's telling you you can't buy a coin and sell it at a higher price, you know. But the way we do it, it's just constant free money for the rest of your life. This is the ultimate savings account. People close out any other investments they have and they shove it in here. Nowhere else can you get the returns this gets without you having to do anything. Without anything, you know, if you owned a 7-Eleven, you'd have to stock the shelves, you'd have to hire employees, you know, you'd have to do all that stuff. But you don't
Plus,
have to do that with GoBabyTrade.
plus you have that security of knowing that you control your money. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
That's a
your
big
money's
deal.
sitting in Coinbase or Kraken. I have no access to it. GoBabyTrade has no access to your coins or your cash. Everything is in your Coinbase or your Kraken account. The software can send orders to Coinbase and say, buy this now. Coinbase is buying it and it's staying in your account. So
Right,
Coinbase is doing the buying and the selling. GoBabyTrade's telling them when to do it. The Coinbase doesn't even know what you're doing. They just see orders coming at them, and every order that we send is profits, is a
right.
profitable order. We never sell at a loss. But picture the when a lot of people are waiting for the market to go up before they jump in. That's a fact. Millions of people are waiting for the market to go up. Every time the market does have a few up days, a lot more people jump into the market. They want the market to go up. But I compare that to a 7-Eleven. I think to myself, if I was owned a 7-Eleven, would I leave the shelves empty until the people walked in? Because if you don't own any inventory, what happens when the price jumps and you don't have any inventory to sell? You
Your
have to stock the shelves ahead of time.
your
Every
mind
one of these profits came from a buy that occurred sometimes a few days earlier. So you bought it and then it went up and you took the profit. If you didn't buy it, then you didn't have any profit to take. So every day that you're not running an auto trader, you're not building inventory and you're not taking profits. The two
well,
most critical things.
Ed, what I'm about to show you will change everybody that doesn't own the trader right now will change their mindset. Exactly what you just said of people
Oh,
thinking logic illogically or misapplying logic by saying, well, I'm going to wait till the market goes up.
I
What's
just passed
happened?
it to you.
What happens in the last month? Has the market
It's
continued
been
to go?
going down, down, down.
Oh,
At beautiful lows, you know, which is gold, you know. That's
and correction, I said I'm going to show you a $200,000 account. I'm going to show you a $100,000 account 1 day shy of a month. Look at the profits taken. In 30 days,
56, 5,700.
$5,700. However, let me show you something even more interesting.
In
So
the
I'm going to show
slowest of
you,
markets.
okay? I'm going to show you out of the $100,000, you would think, oh, well, that's a great return in a month. Oops. I've got to erase my marker here. But if you notice, there's $81,000 cash remaining. So literally on $19,000 in 1 month, it's generated $5,000.
Oh yeah, right. It's like
Do the
what is that?
math. That's
25,000, 25% return in a month?
that's pretty incredible.
No, it is. It is incredible, and it's insultingly easy for the auto trader to do what it does, and only because I just spent 25 years creating it.
It was only insultingly easier for me because I didn't have to do anything other than
Yeah, you didn't
right,
have to do
look at
anything
and
right.
then this popped up. You released the grayed out feature, but look at the consistency. It's all gray.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Yeah, I added that gray not too long ago to show all those open positions that were already closed.
Well,
And and
That's
and
really
it
helpful.
even
It's really
surprised
helpful.
me how it looked because it's
yeah,
like, man, that's a lot of closed trades, man. That's a lot of profit.
and look, let's talk about PRCL for a second, Casey.
Yep, I'm here to shamefully admit that I know too much and not enough at the same time.
PRCL. So not picking on you because
No, it's okay. No,
you
we all
learned,
need to hear this.
right? You learned as everybody else did from the matrix and from your advanced finance degree, believing everything that the matrix told you about how your money really works. It's false, right? And this is proof positive. PRCL, I won't take up too much time in this. I just wanted to show you what this is 28 days ago. So people, if they're applying logic that says, oh, I'm going to wait for it to go up, it's been going down in the last 30 days, but it's made 25% on the money that it's used in the last 30 days. If that doesn't defy logic, I don't know, defy false logic based on what you've been told how your money is supposed to work. It is an incredible reflection.
Well, I think everybody on there, including me, through the years before I automated this market, how come I can't make money in the market? How come I let them destroy, take 60% of my wealth in that 2000 market crash?
Because
That was a pure thievery, and that's when I said, you picked on the wrong guy. I was already retired 5 years. I said, I'm going to automate this market, and I got nothing but time.
right.
And I've
And
been doing it 25 years now, and I will keep going. I'm going to do it another 25, easy.
this is a stark reality of how the current financial system sets people up for failure. We'll talk about just one more second about PRCL. We actually, as a matter of fact, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, put it up on
Right.
This is a buy and holder versus all this crazy money that's made from obvious manipulation that we were not a part of, but rode on the coattails of.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Partial.
The auto trader doesn't speculate. It takes advantage of what the market's doing.
Yeah. While the chart's coming up, Casey, would you ever invest in a market cap stock or coin that has a market cap of 2.6 million?
No.
Nobody.
I won't even look at less than 50 million.
But
But,
nobody.
here we are.
Right. Nobody based on what we have been taught would ever think that this would be a big deal. Now, this is a 24-hour, right? We go back to a week.
Weekly.
Okay. See all of these
Look at those spikes.
You're looking
Man,
at
that's
the
gold.
price. It's 6/100ths of a penny. However, you see.
But if you bought it during the end of the bull cycle a year ago, or type in do all or whatever.
Yeah, and I will. But look at, so as I always say, if you're a buy and holder, this is what your EKG looks like. Right? if you're a
buy and holders,
trade,
they don't even take profits in those beautiful spikes, and they don't take profits.
Right. And your heart is palpitating all the time. If you're a GoBabyTrade user and holder, this is absolute gold. Okay.
Well,
so
you
I'm
don't
going
have time to look at it because you're you're going to Disneyland and stuff.
So how far do you want me to go out, Casey? I'll go out.
Oh, just go all. Right? Well, I mean, yeah, if you bought it a month ago, not great. If you bought it a year ago, not great. If you bought it whenever it first started, maybe it was okay if you sold it over there.
Look at over here.
Buy and holder.
It was 60. If you bought it at the beginning of its existence cycle, it looks like just before July, maybe June of 2024, it was 63.87 cents. Now it's 0.6 of a penny. However,
it's dead.
However,
what?
if you look at GoBabyTrade, look what it took in one day, right? And that's not isolated.
You took $3,000 in profits on that coin.
It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if the trend is going down or up, as long as it's moving. Look at it. It's crazy.
Look at this in one day. As a matter of fact, not in one day, in the same minute, it took $3,000.
But you're not going to sit there in front of your computer and do this.
No, well, you can't. How would you?
No, the auto trader is doing it though.
I know.
Right? How would you be able to predict these spikes? But you can't. To Ed's point, it's not about predicting. It's about having inventory on your shelf. If you don't have it, it doesn't sell it.
Yeah, well, what I did is one time a coin went up 250% and I posted it on Facebook or LinkedIn, something like that. I said, hey, look what my coin did. It went up 250% today. And somebody else responded to it and he wrote, there's no way you knew that coin was going to do that. I
Your
love
point
it.
It's
exactly.
like, yep.
And my response was, you're right. I had no idea that it was going to do it. But my auto trader prepped me for that kill. I had
Right.
all that inventory that is sold off at a 250% return. Probably at 6:05 in the morning while I was sleeping. Thank you.
Yeah, 6:05 your time, right? Right. So I think
And you can't give your money to an investment advisor and tell him to do it. He can't even sit and stare at this stuff. And he
no.
would never know when to buy and when to sell and how much to buy at any given time. The auto trader's doing all the math and it's recalibrating constantly. Every second it's recalibrating. Before it executes a trade, it already knows exactly how much money to invest in that trade.
And
Here's
To
what I
make sure
recognize.
tell me
you
a little
never
bit
run
how
out of money.
tell them about how the trader used to be just for stock trading. So it's 25 years of data versus these new crypto bots are more like
Bots.
3 to 4 year old. Yeah,
Right.
like, explain that
Well,
analogy. I think it's
what
helpful.
Crypto Casey's describing is AI. AI itself. I've been doing AI programming since '89, since my Microsoft days. AI came out in '55, all right, but you would have needed a mainframe to use it. So AI is pattern recognition. It can't tell you 1 plus 1 is 2, but if you show it a lot, if you say, here's 1 plus another 1, and you tell it the answer is 2, and you show it that a million times. How about if you throw in some wrong ones? You say 1 and 1, but the answer is 3. 1 and 1, but the answer is 7. But 98% of the time, when it sees 1 and 1, the answer was 2. It stores all that. We've got terabits of data, so that's pattern recognition. That's a very rudimentary example, but that's how it works. And so, so those patterns, when did they occur? In 2001, 2002, 2003, all the way up to today, right? So if these bots just came out right now, they don't know, they haven't seen the patterns from those days, 2004, 2018. They haven't seen those patterns, those millions of patterns that they haven't seen. So when they're running, they're looking at patterns that only happened in the last couple of years. You can't go back and get history, by the way. You had to build that history. The way GoBabyTrade does is it was building the history the way the auto trader needed it, so that it could, so that the answer it gets from from the AI, the auto trader knows how to interpret that and use it. You can't just go to Chat GPT and generate historical data that the auto trader would use. The trader had to build it itself and pass it to the AI. It's like a 25-year-old running a foot race against a 2-year-old. They don't have a prayer because they don't know what they don't know. When they see a pattern, they might have seen what happened in the last few years in a straight downtrending market. Whereas my bots, my trader, I'm even calling it a bot. I hate that. I don't believe it's not a bot. This is full-blown software with dozens of programs behind the scenes.
So not only,
It's
sorry to
not
interrupt
one
you, but
little program.
not only is it not a bot, this puts you on the inside. I always ask this question of Casey: how much of the market is manipulated, and how much of the market is automated?
Manipulated all of it, and I like to turn to Ed. How much of it is automated? He's the automation expert.
I'm gonna say 100%, except
Yep.
you gotta give the public their 1% manual trading. The institutional computers are doing exactly what we're doing. Actually,
Well,
they're doing more than what we're doing because they're actually moving the prices. We only have to interpret what they're doing.
right.
We don't have to actually make the moves, so they're making it better for all of us. I'm like, hey, keep going, boys. Keep
Yep.
doing what you're doing. Keep moving those prices. They're
The
the
more,
ones setting the price. Every time a price moves, they are before they moved the price, they already knew how much they were going to make on that move ahead of time.
yep. So what I,
The software sees the move afterwards and sees how much and then just takes what it can take because it already built the inventory. So we're preparing for them to make that move before they make the move.
I'll make a very powerful statement. What I've come to realize and I think a lot of our audience has come to realize, particularly the ones that own the trader, is that owning this trader puts you on the inside because everything that they're doing to manipulate the market and automate the market, your platform, money management, and crypto trading with AI gives you every advantage that they have. And without this automation, people don't stand a chance.
Well, think about it this way too. These large institutions, these big brokerages, we all know they're making billions of dollars and trillions. So if they're trading the way you're trading, how come you're not making all that money? How come you're losing and they're winning? What's the difference? Obviously, they're doing something that's different than what you're doing. And what they're doing that's different is automation. What they're doing is what I'm doing.
Right. So
They know how to make money. They know how to manage the money. They're not selling positions at a loss, man.
right.
Ever.
I've also here's another observation, Ed. When you get excited, you have no punctuation. There are no periods. There are no exclamation marks. There are no pauses.
I know. I'm ecstatic. I love the market.
It's amazing, and it's very exciting and invigorated to see someone that has put more than half their life into creating something for the value of others still be so excited. I mean, you're like a kid in a candy store that realizes that you have conquered the market, and certainly for what the machine or the matrix or whatever you want to call it, the system has taken from you, you have not only turned that around for the good of you and your family, but for the good and prosperity for everybody that uses the product. So
we all benefit. We all benefit. Now that's the thing. Some people say, they say stuff like, "Well, if it was real, he wouldn't be giving it to you." Why wouldn't I give it to you? You making money doesn't hurt me. Plus, I need the auto trader for myself, and so everything I'm doing in this, you could say, "All right, he's being very selfish." You know why? Because because everything I'm doing in this trader, you could say I'm doing it for me. Because I'm using these traders too. Now you're able to piggyback what I'm doing. It's okay. I created the auto trader. Why not share it with everybody? Plus, I learn from you. I learn from the mistakes you make, even. I learn from your negative attitudes about things, you know. Oh, the coin's down. Why don't I stop my auto trader from buying more? I already own more. Well, then I have to analyze your question, and I go, well, why wouldn't he stop buying more? Well, let's see. Let's analyze that. Price is going down, and you're buying appropriately, buying and selling, and you got the market trapped so it can never go 5% up from the bottom because you're always buying at the bottom, and it can't go 5% up without you taking profit. But now, if you stop buying and it drops 30% lower, and now it could go up 10% and down 10%. You're not making any money. See? I didn't figure that out on my own. Somebody asked the question. They said, why wouldn't I stop buying? Because I already have a lot of inventory. Why don't I stop buying? Well, if you stop buying, right now you got the market trapped. They can't wiggle without giving you money. The market can't breathe without giving you money. Every time it tries to go up 5%, you take money. But if you stop buying, you let them off the hook. Because now the coin drops 20 or 30% lower, and it's doing all these wiggles. You're throwing away hundreds of trades, all that free money, just because you stopped it from buying. Keep the trap on. If it wants to drop, let it go down. Let it buy more at the lower prices. Now, when this one goes higher, you sell it. This one goes higher, you sell it. It goes lower, you buy it back. It goes higher, you sell it. You got them trapped for life. At the bottom, no matter where they go, you got them trapped.
Hey, Ed.
For the rest of your life, you should feel powerful. I feel diabolical. See what I did there, Edward? I talked faster. I took that period. There was a period at the end of that sentence.
But it's a very, very slight pause.
You go ahead. It's all right. I think they get it. I think everybody gets what I'm talking about.
The questions are coming in fast and furious, so it's take your jacket off time, Ed.
Yeah. Yeah, Casey,
Now
would you mind diving into the Q&A for
Oh,
us?
sure, sure, sure. All right.
I'm gonna take my jacket off so I don't look like those guys on CNBC that never tell you anything.
Okay.
If he's
I want to
Jim
give you
Cramer,
real
everything's the
answers.
opposite. All right. From the top, Anya Klaus. As a resident of Illinois, I'm concerned about losing profits from all the buying, selling, and using profits with the Coinbase card via GoBabyTrade. Since the governor has initiated a digital asset privilege tax with a 0.2% tax on any exchange and transfer of crypto assets. Or am I overthinking this issue? Any insights on this would be very much appreciated.
My best insight is move to Florida.
Well, okay,
Well,
let's
definitely, you're
have
talking about
another.
Illinois. You want to move anyways. I can give you lots of reasons why you should move, but besides crypto.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait, does this also kind of factor into the way that the taxes are calculated by Kraken or Coinbase at the end of the day, at the end of the year, whenever you kind of, import them into your TurboTax, or is this completely separate?
yeah, I don't understand why, I don't know what that means. Every time
This looks like a
are you
state
saying
tax.
that's a gas tax, a 2% gas tax every time you transfer a coin?
Exchange or
I mean,
transfer.
you do have to pay fees to transfer, but you're staying in crypto. So if you're paying with crypto, you're staying in crypto. You're not leaving crypto. You're moving it from
This seems
crypto to
like an
crypto to
Illinois
make a
tax,
payment.
tax, what, either tax attorney or
I
an
think
accountant
as a
question.
big picture guy, you're still going to be way ahead of the game in taking your profits and paying whatever tax you got to pay. I mean, it's
Because if
better
you can make
than not for.
100% in profits, who cares if I pay 2% to something?
No, exactly. You're paying taxes whenever you're making money. So it's like you're either making money and you're paying taxes, or you're making money not paying taxes,
Yeah,
or
think
you're
of
just
the
not making
option,
money. I don't know.
Anya. Anya, the option
Anya
is not to
Klaus.
grow your money and not to cash flow like this. So really, when you look at the big picture, maybe you are overthinking it. From my perspective, again, Edward is the technical guy here, along with
Never,
Ed.
I can tell you honestly, I've been doing this a lot of years. Never say, I don't want to make money because of taxes.
Yeah,
Never do
right.
that. That means you can never be rich. That's it. I don't want to get rich because I'm going to have to pay taxes. Never do that. That's a killer, man. That is a killer. Then you're done, man. I don't know how you could live. Then you don't want to get a job either. Why get a job? You got to pay taxes. I mean, taxes is just a way of life. I pay more taxes. If you saw the amount of taxes I paid every year, you'd die. But you know what? I don't even care. I make so much money. There's no way I'm gonna let taxes scare me. Not a bit. No way.
Anya,
She
All
said,
right.
let me ask you would you do me a favor and put your email in the chat? I literally just ran it through ChatGPT and it came back with a pretty significant answer that may help you. I'll email it to you since it's you specific, and you're welcome to share it with anybody you wish.
And
So
don't
she
use
said,
Chat GPT to pick stocks or pick coins and
no,
stuff
no, no,
like
no.
that
It's good for this
because
type of
they don't know how the auto trader trades. They're giving you an answer based on buy and hold mentality.
No, in fact,
And they're
actually,
saying,
I've run some stuff through chat, and they even got the acronyms of Clarity and Genius Act completely wrong. And if I didn't know what they were, some people could just put stuff through and then just say it, and it's completely wrong. It's crazy. So,
see, I know.
she's, by the way, Anya's busy packing. She said she's moving to Florida.
wonderful.
So is
thing.
everything.
Nice.
All right, next question. Norma Morales. I forget the minimum amount to trade with considering the price of the product.
$500.
All right, perfect. Next one. Norman
Well,
as
no,
well.
no, let me
Nice. Oh,
follow it up with one
okay.
thing real fast.
Okay.
No, that is the answer. I've got people that start with $500 and then they add $100 a month to their account. They don't add a lot, they don't add 1,000, just add $100 a month to the account. That's 1,200 more dollars a year you're adding to your trader. It's taking all these profits, plus you're giving it more money to work with, so it's increasing the profits. In a few years, you're up into the thousands. You're on your way to great wealth. So never look at $500 and think that, well, all I have is 500, I'm not going to do it. It's like, do it. Because This is mind-altering software. Once you have an auto trader cranking out free money every day, that changes your brain, man. It changes the way you view the whole world, really. And so I would say do it. I feel bad for anyone who doesn't do it.
All right. Norman has a couple more questions, so we'll keep the line of fire. All right. Stablecoins seem to have a somewhat predictable trading zone. Would that be something worthwhile for the auto trader to trade? I
No,
would personally say no.
no, it uses stablecoin to trade
If
like
it's going
in
from 0.99 to point 101, no,
No,
it's not
because you're
moving
going to
at
give
all.
all your money to the broker for the fees because
Yeah.
they have minimum fees they charge for every trade.
All right.
there's no
Going,
volatility. It's it's
You
it's
yeah,
want
a
to
yeah,
make
there's like zero
5%, you're not going to
volatility.
make a 5%. It's going to be real hard
Unless
to
it
make a
goes to zero
5% move
because it
on
got
it.
wiped out, and that's not a good volatility.
Hey, Casey, do me a favor.
Yes.
Yeah,
Pause
Yeah.
have
between the
to.
next question, and talk a little bit about the negotiations you did with Mr. Barsano and beating him over his head for a discount for your audience. I'm going to post your special discount link.
Sure. So we get $1,000 discount, and whenever I secretly went behind their back and bought it, I think Ed wanted to give it to me for free, but I don't like that. I want to go through the organic process of what everybody would do, and I bought it full price, 4,500 bucks. And
I said, look, I'm going to give it to you for free, but at least give your people a
well,
discount.
no, what's funny is like I didn't even give him the chance to offer me for free because whenever I went away with him, like I don't know about
Yeah.
this, but I'm gonna go through the way that it is, and it turned out to be great in my opinion. And then so yeah, it's like, hey, we have a deal where $1,000 off. I think that's awesome for 3 years. I mean, one of the questions I had a long laundry list of things that I wanted to run by him before I felt comfortable sharing this with my audience. And one of them, which I don't want to sound like weird or whatever, but it was like, why is it so cheap?
Yeah,
Like
you did ask that. I remember.
like this seems like the only thing now that feels like a scam is that it's so cheap for 3 years.
Well,
Well,
And
because I'm looking at the expenses of the company and where they're at, and I've got racks of servers, a multi-million dollar infrastructure, but I also have a lot of users that covers that can cover that. I don't need to raise the price, to cover the expenses.
from whenever I experienced it the first year, what I experienced was like this was worth like $20,000 for 1 year. I that's
Yeah.
like the way that I kind of looked at it and calculated it from my experience. And so I'm like, well, all right, whatever you want to do, this is your thing
That
then.
would have eliminated a lot. It
I
wouldn't
know,
have,
no, and
I
I
wouldn't, I
agree.
would
I
only, I don't
agree. I'm
want to
just
just
saying
help
like
the wealthy. I don't
no,
want
and
to
I
just
don't
help the rich. The
I
rich will
agree.
pay it. I've got people with $1 million accounts, with $3 million accounts,
I
with three
agree.
million, with 1.5 million in two separate accounts, 1.5 million each account. Now, yeah, I mean, if I was selling it for thousands of dollars, $20,000 a year, they would buy it. But
Oh,
then where
look,
would that leave a lot of other people?
and I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying that stuff that I've looked at, this is what this caliber is. And that's why I thought like this is a little too cheap. Like, is there some security issues? Is there something I'm giving away? Is there some kind of scam aspect to it? Because why is it so cheap for what it's doing? And
right.
so at the end of the day, once you get to know Ed, I feel comfortable.
Yeah, well, don't
well,
try too hard. You might talk me into raising it.
No, don't do that. I'm saying like that was just one of my genuine questions. Like I don't understand. This is what it does, and it's
Yeah.
like way cheaper than a lot of
Well,
stuff
that's
that's
where
really expensive
that's
that
the
doesn't do
common
anything.
question.
Yeah.
That's the common
well, let me
questions
say
that I get.
this.
Why would he give it to you? If it's how come he's not rich? I am. I don't know. Bad question. How come? If why I don't have to share this at this point right now, with where it's at and my education where it's at. That all the stuff that I learned over the last 25 years. I no longer need to share it with anybody. I could just turn it off and run it myself and not have any more clients. But that wouldn't be cool. That wouldn't be fun.
Well, let
Because
me
I know what retirement is and I'm having fun with you guys. We're all having fun. I love this.
Ed,
I'm having a ball helping everybody.
if you don't mind me, after knowing you 14 years, I know your MO as to why you don't raise the price and why it's priced where it is. If you don't mind me saying, I know that you've said it yourself. You've come from very humble beginnings in Chicago. And when you built this, you, like you said, you didn't build it and create it
For the
for the uber
rich.
rich or for Wall Street. You did it for the average person, and you want to keep it affordable for the average person. That's it. End of story. Right there. And thank you for
It's
that
true.
because it is very affordable. You know me, I've been telling you for years to raise the price, right? So,
Have you?
any-
I grew up on
anyway.
welfare in Chicago,
Hmm.
and but everybody I knew was on welfare, so I don't know. I went to Thule High School on Western and Division. It's now called Clementi.
Hmm.
For those of
Well,
you who live in Chicago. It used to be Thule before they built Clementi.
Hmm.
uh,
All right, next.
Casey, you want?
No, yeah, I got it.
Yep.
Norman's up again. All right.
Norman, you are killing it. You're
Yeah,
beating the
he has a
girls
couple
this
more
time.
where is coming from. So here we go. Anything is possible, but I don't see some markets going back to 1 cent. How can the auto trader never lose money if the market never returns to certain prices?
Because it never has to. I mean, Norman, you're not understanding how things work.
Yeah.
If you buy it up here, it doesn't matter what you bought up here. Is if I keep taking money forever, let's go back to the bucket and the well. And I'll give you the example. I didn't explain it to you, Norman. I was teaching an AI class to 80 engineers how to program AI, right? And there was 80 engineers in there, and there was a whiteboard. So I went up, this is years ago, and I drew a picture before I animated it like this. It popped into my head. So I walked up to the whiteboard and I drew a picture of a bucket and a well. Okay, and I asked the room, I said, if it's water, because they didn't know I was going to talk about stocks. It was stocks at the time, not cryptos, but they didn't know I was going to talk about stocks. I just drew a picture of a bucket and a well, and that's normally water. I said, okay, if it's water and it has to go all the way down to get the water and all the way back up to dump it out. Now these wells have been around for thousands of years. How much water can it pump in a lifetime? If it goes all the way down and all the way up, can't go halfway down and then go back up because it'll be an empty bucket. It has to go all the way to the bottom and all the way to the top. How much water can it pump? And they were throwing out numbers like 1 million gallons, 1 billion gallons, 1 trillion gallons. Yeah, sure, if you're doing it forever, forever. Doesn't matter if I bought it. So now let's look. I said, now let's look at the stock market. What if it only has to go down a little and I buy a little and it goes up a little and I sell it? And I keep repeating that. And it doesn't matter how far down it goes, I'll hold those that are underwater and I'll keep pumping here. If it goes down a little, I buy, and it goes up a little and I sell. And I keep doing that forever. As long as the coin doesn't go out of business, I'm going to just keep pumping money for the rest of my life. How much money can it pump? It doesn't matter that I'm like you said that it'll never go up to this price. I don't care. I'm gonna trade this coin forever. I'm gonna have 100,000 trades of profits. Profit wise, I'm gonna be way up here, way up, way above how much that coin is down. And so the greatest thing was the answer. One guy, nobody answered for a few minutes. I was just looking, I'm like, come on, it's not a trick question. How much money can it pump? And then one guy finally said, there's no way that could be real. What an answer, man. You see, if he didn't say that, it would have never been in my head that somebody would say, there's no way that could be real. That's actually what the guy said. I cracked out laughing. I'm like, man, I can't believe you can't see the obvious, man. It is real. There's no reason it can't be real. And you're an engineer,
Because we've been
really?
brainwashed. That's something
You've
that
been
could
brainwashed.
never be possible.
People think it has to go back to the top price. It doesn't. You know when it has to go back to the top price? If
Never.
you're over here on the left side, you're a buy and holder.
Fine.
You put
But it
all
may
your
Holder.
never
money
Yep.
in
get
at the
it may never
top,
get to that point again.
and it
Most of
goes
them
all the
won't.
way down here, and you're missing 100,000 trades, profitable trades, and you still don't make a penny until it goes all the way back to your original buy price up here. With us, we're never 5% away from taking free money. We're never 5% away. That coin can never go up 5%. And I don't care if it takes a week for that coin to go up 5% after I buy it. Because if it goes lower, I'll buy more. Now it's got to go, if it just goes 5% from the bottom one.
All right, we
But
have another question, Ed.
it can never go up without giving me money for the rest of my life.
All right,
Yes.
ready?
Who's the question?
Kevon Carnell. Ed Barsano, why don't you have PRCL in your portfolio?
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Kevon is the same one that 1 week, like
2 weeks ago.
no, wait a minute, like 3 days, about 3 weeks ago, about 3 days before a parcel went
Ballistic.
PRCL went ballistic on Edward's Trader and took 2,500. Is Parcel going to go out of business? It
So
was
what if it
perfect.
does?
We were laughing
Wait, so
about it.
wait,
We
is it in his portfolio? That was
we
his
were
question.
laughing about it.
No. He's asking why doesn't he trade PRCL? And then down the bottom, Norm says, what was PRC? How did it get selected? I select
Oh, those are two different people though. Yeah. So we got
right. I
Kevon and
selected it because it was at the top of the $1 billion report.
Yeah. Let me just search. PRCL. It's on line 35 now. It was on line 4 of the highest trade count report.
Right.
Let me say this. The answer to that question, first off, is I am trading it in one of my other traders. I have multiple traders. The other thing is you can't own all the coins. There's no PRCL is not magic. I'm not in love with that coin any more than I'm in love with any other coin. If you want to talk about coins I love, here are the coins I love. I'll show you right here. I love ACH, Alchemy Pay. That's like Apple Pay worldwide. Yeah, I originally bought it at 12 cents, 12 cents a share, and now it's less than a half cent. But I've taken, even though it's dropped from 12 cents to less than a half cent, you'd think, well, I'm getting killed. If I was a buy and holder, you're right, I would be. However, I've taken 340,000 in profits from the wiggles, but my open inventory that's negative is only $184 down. So I'm actually net profitable. So it never has to go back up there. And you can't own all the coins. But Alchemy Pay is like is like Apple Pay worldwide. I've been preaching
Mhm.
that for 5 years. I love that coin. Then a couple months ago they merged. They partnered with Apple Pay. I always said they're like Apple Pay worldwide. There's nothing wrong with that coin. Dogecoin. Every time Elon Musk mentions you can buy a Tesla with your Doge, the coin would pop 30%. So I added that to my trader years ago. The graph, they've got 70,000 companies using them. They write blockchain software. We don't even have crypto market without these guys, in my opinion, because you don't
Mhm.
want programmers writing to the blockchain without calling functions that have already been vetted. These guys wrote those functions. They get 2 billion hits a day, GRT.
Wow.
And they're another
Wow.
one. They were 33 cents a few years ago, and now they're at 1.5 cents. I
Yeah.
mean, these prices are insultingly low. They're not going. I can't imagine that company going out of business. What would 70,000 companies do? Those 2 billion hits a day on the blockchain that are calling these guys functions. Who's going to write that code? Good luck. And who doesn't own Shiba Inu? That's one of the most widely held coins out there. And you know how easy it is for it to go up 100% to double in value? I mean, I've owned this coin all the way, I think, 3 or 4 zeros. Now it's got six. How many zeros are after it? One, two, three, 4, 5. I mean, I started buying that thing when it had 6 zeros, so I'm already net. I'm way up on that coin too. Um, but over the last couple months, they drove these prices, these coins. I feel like I say these coins are in play, is what I always call it. They are trying to drive everybody out. And every time they lower the prices, the public just sells off and panics. instead of doing what we do, buy more at the insultingly low price. Thanks. I mean, that's a gift. Do you realize what a gift it is to get a price to go down? How would you like Nvidia to go to 30 cents a share? Wouldn't that be the coolest thing ever? So you can load up. How about houses? You know, I mentioned this the other day to somebody. I said, how about if they just lower all the houses to $1,000 each? How many houses would you buy? As many as you could. So discounts are what you want. You don't walk into a store, and I told you that earlier. You don't walk into a store, see sales, and then say, "Well, I wanted to get bananas, but they're on sale today, so forget it. I don't want them." And you're taking you're looking at the market different than real life. I look at the market like the real world. It's commerce. It's just common commerce that has been around for thousands of years, man. The Egyptians had commerce. I mean, what did they trade with in a really like a million years ago? Shells, seashells? I don't know. But I'm gonna buy a seashell for one price and sell it at a higher price. That's how commerce works. You buy it at one price and sell it at a higher price. If you don't get that simple concept, then I don't know how you function, man. I don't know how society could live if you don't understand that basic concept.
All right.
But the problem is you're thinking the market is something other than commerce, and that's
Yeah.
what's killing you. The
Yep.
market is
Well,
nothing more than commerce. It's just basic commerce. Throw away any books you have on the stock market. Whatever you're reading is a scam. And whatever they're teaching you in these trading classes is a scam. You're being taught by people that aren't even really in the market. They're lying. I've sat in those classes. They're lying. The guy up there is BSing us. He's not in the market, man.
All
He's
right.
because of
Okay,
the
Brady.
stuff that he's saying, I could tell he would lose all his money. I sit there and listen to those guys. I'm like, oh God, if I did that, I'd lose all my money. Get out of here, man.
Okay,
You know?
breathe in.
All right, I'm gonna take a breath again. I'm out of smart water, so this video's got to come to an end.
okay. Casey, finish up with
All
Norman.
right, Norma Morales again. How much do you pay in
Norm, you're on a
taxes?
roll, and
It
it's
is
cool.
on
I
a
don't
roll.
mind. I don't
All
mind.
right, I
Don't.
think
I'm not. I hope I'm not offending you. All right. I'm not. I don't mean to
well,
be offensive, but that's
he's still
me.
hanging on, so hopefully not. How much do you pay in taxes on the crypto auto trader?
I got this one. Okay. So, Norman and everybody else, the taxes in this industry or asset class are always a function of the exchange. At the end of the year, actually the beginning of the year, February, you're going to get an email from either Coinbase or Kraken, whichever one you use, whichever one is connected through API to your auto trader, and they'll tell you for the year what, your profit and loss. It's very simple. You hand that by choice. You either hand that or don't hand that to your CPA. That's up to you, and
You
you're
just
done.
type it in
That
a
that
TurboTax. It's a 1099 DA form.
Yeah, the trader has nothing to do with taxes. Okay, so just know that. Good question though, but
They're
it's
going
a
to be a
very
lot
simple
less than you
answer.
think, though. I'll tell you that.
Yep, yep. Uh, Kevon says ACH must be my
Is
new
it
buy-in.
Mark? Is
Well,
that
it's
Mark
up to you. I mean,
Kevon?
don't
Is
buy
it
too many,
Mark?
Kevon. Remember, no, Kevon is the first name. Kevon Carnell. Kevon Carnell. So
Oh,
Kevon,
okay.
you don't want to have more than 3 or 4 coins. I don't know how many you have now, but it's a mistake. If anybody's new here, it's a mistake to have more than 3 or 4. I mean, if you're trading with a lot of money, 50 to 100,000, if you want to add a fifth one,
Add one
go ahead.
more.
But there's no
5.
need. There's no need. Yeah. So, hey, great
Because
questions
what it
today.
is you don't want
Um,
to. What's going to happen? Do you mind, Attila, if I just show them this?
yeah,
If you have
go
too
ahead.
many coins, you're dividing your money up into too many coins. So that means you're going to invest less money per trade on that coin, which means you're going to make less profits
Right,
per trade. So you don't want to. I mean, I know one guy with
right.
50
And it's
coins.
going to
He's
feel,
spread his money all over the place. Don't do that. The
hmm,
less coins you have, the better.
man. Exactly, exactly. So let me remind
Uh-oh, he's breaking
thank
up.
you, Casey, for participating there. Let me remind everybody, we are here at 2. Oh, Edward, my internet is a little
Yeah,
spotty. Do you mind
let
finishing up?
let me pick up where you left off because you're completely completely inaudible. I believe you're going to say that we're here every Wednesday, and what a joy and treat to have Crypto Casey and Ed. We love Ed too.
Yeah,
But to have one of the smartest and nicest people in the marketplace in this crazy nascent space that allows us to speak with her real time, right? And it's absolutely amazing. I'm geek crazy about Casey, which is why when I heard that we had a chance to meet her when she told the story. But because I truly believe, my personal opinion, and I think a lot of you would agree, is that she provides some of the most valuable information in this marketplace, and she has been since 2017. And she continues, excuse me, to evolve in what her understanding is, even as it comes to the trader. And it's a treat for everybody. So I want to personally thank Casey and Ed, and of course my good friend Attila. We are here every single week. If you, some of you, I think a lot of you own the trader. If you don't, there are really some compelling reasons to own the trader. You've heard it from me. You've heard it from Ed. You've heard it from Casey. Casey said earlier in the show that this is the only thing that she is using and knows of in the marketplace that is literally consistently making money for you. By the way, with 100% control on your part, 100% security, limited, if any, mitigated risk for your money. Ed said it's the best savings account that's on the planet. If it only made 2%, and it's never operated at that low of a return, if it only made 2%, that's still 24% on your money a year. And that doesn't exist anywhere else in terrestrial financing, or what we consider TradFi or traditional finance. It is amazing. We're actually actively speaking in the background. I'm not going to talk in detail, but we've talked a lot about affiliate programs and the ability for you as the owner and appreciating of this technology that Ed has created. There's going to be an opportunity in the soon to be future that you can start telling your friends and blessing them as we're blessing you, hopefully, that will allow you to prosper a bit more as well. More to come on that note. But Attila, I'm going to put into the chat. I'm going to post Crypto Casey's exclusive discount again for anybody that didn't catch it earlier and has not taken advantage of that. I'm also going to post a couple of other things, so bear with me. I am doing some administrative background stuff so that you can benefit from it. The next I'm going to post is the 2 email supports. One is, excuse me, the first is support at GoBabyTrade.com. Any technical questions, then send them to Ed and his team. Anything that is something as easy as helping you come on board, get connected, then send it to support at RCT Marketing Systems. RCTmarketingsystems.com, and we'll help you. All you have to do is request a 15 to 20 minute Zoom window, and we'll help you onboard. That's not a problem. If you've got any other questions that you didn't get a chance to ask here, you can do that as well. Excuse me. Let me also post, if you are not living under a rock, then you probably already subscribed to Crypto Casey. But if not, if you're brand new here and it's your first exposure, that is her channel. That's where you can learn everything that I've learned personally about crypto. I can say Casey's had a hand in that education. I'm also going to post, of which we are not only a product of the product, obviously you see that we use it and benefit from it, but I am also we created a private community. Some of you are already members of. I've just posted that. It's a free community, which Attila, myself, Crypto Casey, and Ed Barsano participate in. It's a great like-minded universe that we're also adding lots and lots more value. We post a weekly market wrap-up that you'll get in that for free. And then the last thing I want to mention to you is we repost these or post these videos once we process them on our YouTube channel. And if you were to send a note to Casey, then she can provide you a link to that as well. But that's it for me.
Perfect.
Great. Last words, Ed, Crypto Casey?
Join us next week if you have any more questions or join the fam. I mean, here we are. I think it's
Yep.
pretty simple.
So what's that cat's name?
That one's Katla, Katla. It's based on like the most famous volcano in Iceland. It means like fire cannon. And so yeah.
Wow,
Cool.
So
cool.
she's an attack cat.
She can attack. She can hide. I don't know. She decides, depending.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Casey. Last words,
You know, I could have
Ed?
guessed that she didn't just name the cat Tabby or something like that, you know? She had to name a cat, something that we had to look up in an encyclopedia.
No, you know what's funny is whenever I rescued this cat, so I went and her name was Casey, spelled just like mine, and I'd have always had black cats growing up, so I was like, well, this is the universe telling me this is my cat.
That's great. Well,
Yeah.
my suspicion is that as much as of an animal lover as you are, everyone that you adopt here on out, there's going to be PRCL, XRP,
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, those were some good omens right there.
That's awesome. Ed, what more information or knowledge would you like to impart on your
Good
audience?
Lord. I could go on, I could go on forever, but I really enjoy, doing the webinars with you guys. And Casey, thank you for letting me speak to your audience. That
Oh,
really means the world to me. The more people we can touch, just, we're helping so many people. Some people don't, when the market takes off, you're going to be so glad you got on board. That's all. I don't know what to say because like I said, if you had a 7-Eleven, you wouldn't leave the shelves empty and wait for people to come. The auto trader is the same way. It wants to build inventory at these insultingly low prices. This is where the rich get richer. In
Yep.
every market crash, the people that got rich were the ones that bought at the bottom, not the people that were selling on the way down and just dumping their shares at a loss. So this is an opportunity of a lifetime that we're never going to see again. This is going to be the biggest transfer of wealth that we've ever seen in the world when this market takes off.
You
When that
just brought
clarity
up
bill
something I
gets
forgot to
signed.
mention.
Right, the
If you don't
digital
know,
money
we published it.
revolution.
We published a book, and what does it say down the bottom? How to prosper from the largest wealth transfer in history. And by the way, if you can see it, look who wrote the foreword. So,
Crypto Casey.
yep, and it has a dedicated chapter on GoBabyTrade. And Attila and I wrote the book. I'll ask for Casey's opinion and Ed's opinion on the value of what is inside the book.
pretty much my, I don't know, almost 10 years of videos in one book that you could read at your own pace without having to rummage through all of the different iterations after things change over the years. It's pretty, modern
Uh,
at this point.
I neglected to thank you again for participating in the project and Ed's indelibly in ink as to what he has created and the value that it brings to everybody. That we hope. We hope. Why don't you have millions of clients? I don't know. Trying to
Because I'm not a marketer, I'm a programmer. But
well,
I read a lot of books, all right? And they all give you little tidbits of this or that. Like this one here, BlackRock and Bitcoin talks about like when they sell $70 million worth of crypto, people go, "Oh no." I mean, or birth of Bitcoin, people go, "Oh no, Bitcoin is going down." It's like, no, it isn't. They do billions of dollars of trades of Bitcoin every day, That's just you're reading a headline and you're getting manipulated by that headline. So, but what I like about that book is it really sums up a lot of the stuff that we do, the important stuff. I think everything we say is important. We're not out here we don't just say random blow smoke stuff. Everything we say has specific meaning to driving money, pulling money out of that market and trapping that market and making them pay you. Don't let the market breathe. Don't let the big guys do that to a coin price go up a little and let them make money, but you not make money. They want to move the prices around, then pay me. I'm the tax man. And just this, so that book has, the conglomeration of just all this real, I call it intelligence, that is really drilled down to the real stuff that you really need without the smoke and mirrors stuff. And without cluttering it up with so much misinformation. You could barely read a book out there and without seeing, I mean, I saw a beautiful book years ago. Some of you may have seen it. I don't know. It was a little pamphlet. I was reading it on an airplane once. It wasn't a pamphlet, but I mean, it wasn't like a little book. And it said how to make $1 million in the market. And you know what? The guy he said some stuff that I could tell was like, yes, 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 I get it, I get it, I get it. But he also cluttered it up with misinformation, the wrong stuff. I'm like,
Ed,
oh man, this guy, he was on track, but then he just threw it all away. I saw an ad. I'm taking
that's
away the periods in the sentence because I know the minute I quit talking, I'm done, right? But I saw a beautiful one guy was posting stuff on Facebook, and some of you may have seen it, and he had nice quotes, nice quotes, nice quotes. And I'm thinking, wow, this guy looks, he looks like he knows how to trade and stuff. It sounds pretty good. But then he said, one of them, he said, click here and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Kind of the way I just showed you how we do it, right? And he did that. And when he did that, I said, oh my God, if he does what he just described, you're going to lose all your money, man. Oh God.
So are those your
Hey,
final words?
So, all right, I'm out of words, man. Thank you, everybody.
Ed, you just said when you said didn't you just say how you make $1 million in the market?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's an old joke. The answer is you start with 10 million.
Mm.
That's good. Maybe that's what the book was leading to. I don't know. I don't think that's
Yeah.
what he meant, though.
Well, we appreciate everybody. Thank you for the kind
Yep,
comments on the work. We put it out because
absolutely.
we truly
Yep.
believe it's a benefit to everybody. It's available on Amazon. It's called The Digital Money Revolution. So it's a benefit to share with others.
I would
Casey,
get that book. You got to get that book.
thank you, Ed. Thank you. Um,
Yep. Awesome.
my final words, thank you so much to everybody for joining us. Thank you for investing your valuable time. My good friends now, Ed Barsano, Crypto Casey, and of course, Attila. And we will see you next week.
Yep.
Bye
Be
for
safe out
now.
there, guys.
AC, how does
Be
that
safe
work?
out there.
I'll
Don't
never
worry.
get it. I'll never get
Oh,
it.
One forward, one back.
Yeah, in the camera. All
That's
right,
it.
guys. I'll see you, man.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody.